All right, WNBA Finals Game 1. We are going to do a full recap of this fantastic game. But before we start, if you enjoy the content, then please consider subscribing to the channel and giving the video a like. All right, let's get into this. All right, let's get it out of the way. First is I want to focus on the game. Yes, I need to eat it. I had my previous video where I thought the New York Liberty were going to dominate, and I was wrong, wrong, wrong. Yes, yes, MPT 776. I am hungry, and yes, I'll like them apples that you're about to give me, because yes, the Liberty got their butts kicked. Well, that's not true. They didn't get their butts kicked. The Liberty lost and got it handed to them by the Lynx, so I need to eat dim apples. I think that's where you're going with your comment. And yes, categorically, I was wrong.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong.
Now, hopefully, I have admitted my wrongness enough and we can get on to this game, as it was fantastic. It had it all. Lead changes, so there were 4 lead changes. There was 1 tie, come back by 18 points. That's how much the Lynx were down at one point. But somehow they got it done. Did the New York Liberty choke?
Oh my God!
They did not close out the game well, as they were up 81-69 at the 4:03 mark in the fourth quarter, and then went on 11-2 run to close up the game and ultimately tie it and send it to an overtime. A timeout was called at the 4:03 mark, and at that point, Cheryl Reeve decided to go small, real small. She took out Smith and played 3 guards, being Williams, McBride, and Heidemann.
You know, if the bigs weren't rebounding, you might as well go small. It couldn't get any worse, right? And what we wanted was just a couple ball handlers, get downhill, try to get some easier stuff, and pace, etc. And that was actually, I don't know if it was Katie or Rebecca, but that was something that they asked for. It was a really good call.
And then straight away, Courtney Williams was able to get a mismatch on Jonquel Jones. Defense came to help. She was able to throw it back out to Heidemann, who buried the 3-point shot. Rondello called a timeout, and then she took off Lainey Hamilton and brought back on Phoebish. And on offense, the Lynx got better looks, but on defense, they held up because the Liberty weren't able to take advantage of the couple of rebounds they had. They had like 2 or 3 back-to-back rebounds, and they just didn't do anything with it. Jones had a mismatch on Heidemann on the inside. Inescu threw a terrible pass, and then they went back down, got another score, and you could feel the pressure building. Even with the pressure building, New York still had a chance. Like at the 118 mark, Stewie had a shot on the elbow to put them up by 7. It didn't go in. Then Heidemann took the rebound and went down in transition and had the layup, which was contested by Stewart, and she missed. And this is where I really thought New York blew it. So at that point, Inescu takes the rebound, and they have a 5-on-4 as Heidemann is down in the backcourt. And basically, Inescu just sits there and tries to milk it for time. So it's about at the 1-minute mark. They're up by 5. I thought they should have pushed the ball and just tried to get up by 7. But instead, Inescu held it in the corner. You can see Heidemann sort of come back into the play, and then they didn't get a good shot. They tried to run pick and roll with Jones, and that was not a good shot. And then Courtney went down quickly and got the 2-for-1. She hit it in under 10 seconds, and that made it a 1-possession game, and you could feel the noose tightening around New York. Then New York has a shot clock violation. Now, Jones was thrown off as she thought she got fouled by Collier. I thought that was a foul too. I mean, you could debate whether Jones hooked her or not, but I thought of all the fouls, like the in-game foul and that one, I thought that was the most clear one where something should have been called. It was either a hook by Jones or it was a foul on Collier. But for New York, not even to get a shot attempt off, it's bad. That's really bad. Again, typical about how they melted down towards the end of the game. And then the meltdown was complete with them giving up a 4-point play, which was unbelievable. Couldn't get the rebound, and then Inescu just hammers Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams buries the free throw, and you think it's done and dusted. The foul that sent Collier to the line, now, I see why it was called because she came down with the arm. I didn't think she caught her on the arm. I thought, if anything, she glanced it. I thought that shouldn't have been a foul call. And I guess ball don't lie, because Stewie couldn't hit her second free throw, sending us into overtime, which was fine by me. And overtime was great as Courtney Williams, I've never seen anybody go so quickly from hero to GOAT to hero again. And prior to that, she hit a big three as well, but when they could ice the game almost, with 33 seconds left, she throws a terrible bounce pass that gets New York back into it. And then the Lynx call a timeout, and they throw a turnover to Jones on the inbounds play, and it's a tie game again. It's utterly ridiculous, but then they went to their superstar, Collier. Beautiful turnaround jumper. She got it done. And then it came back down to New York, and they went to their superstar, and Stewie had the layup and she could not finish, which happens. And there you go. The Lynx have stolen game one. They were thoroughly dominated on the boards. They had no business winning this game. New York out-rebounded them by 12 as well. They had 19 more shot attempts than the Lynx. But the Lynx did do one thing well, and it's an important thing. They shot well. They were 50% from the floor and 40% from the three-point line, going 9 of 22 from the three-point line and overall 36 of 71. The Liberty shot 37% from the floor, going 34 of 90, and they were just under 40%. They shot 39% from three, going 13 of 33. And really, this was a game that New York should have won. They gave this game away when you look at it. In terms of they closed shop and didn't finish it, like when they had their chance to go on offense, they just dribbled up top and hope Ionescu or Stewie would bail them out, and it did not happen. Now, I imagine Sandy Brondello is going to take a lot of heat for this game. I would think the main one is she really didn't change much up. When they got stagnant, I might have had Stewie bring up the ball or something like that just to switch it up a little bit as well. The obvious one would be someone would be questioning why she didn't challenge when Stewie got her block on Courtney Williams. Why didn't she didn't challenge it? As it looked like the block went off Courtney Williams' hand and everybody was telling her to challenge it. And you could make the argument, hey, she wanted to save her timeout. But then she got really, really lucky because after they made the basket, I thought they got that timeout in late, and they should have had to bring the ball up from the backcourt because I didn't think they called that timeout soon enough, but they gave it to her, which takes her a little bit off the hook for that one. And some of this is unfair as the losing coach always gets blamed, and I admit I'm tough on Brondello. Like I said when the Aces matched up versus the Liberty, I thought that was the big advantage that the Aces had was Becky Hammon, and I would still take Becky Hammon over Sandy Brondello, and I would take Cheryl Reeves over Sandy Brondello as well. I just think they make better adjustments in the moment. That's not saying Brondello's bad or a terrible coach or anything like that. I just think Cheryl Reeve and Becky Hammon are just a little bit better in those tight situations as well. I think for all money, like you've seen the Aces do it before. If there was that tight situation, they would have been holding that ball. If they had a 5-on-4, I'm pretty sure they would have gone for the jugular. Now, moving forward, where are we at? Well, in previous 5-game WNBA Championship Series, the lower seeded team that's won game one, they've won 6 out of the 3 series, and that is not including the COVID series, which was played in the bubble where you really didn't have a home team advantage. I just think the real big thing about that win in the opening game, it just allows the Lynx to have another crack at them in game 2 and really put this series away. It's just free money. If they could steal another game, then they're on their way. In the next game on Sunday, you would expect that Stewie would have a good bounce-back game. I mean, she didn't play terrible, but yeah, she didn't play great. She shot under 50%. Same thing with Ionescu. She shot very poorly, going 8 of 26, but not only that, she didn't run the team very well. When she should have been controlling things at the end of the game, they fell apart. I am curious to see what adjustments they make. I wonder if they will start having Stewie bring up the ball like they had her do versus the Aces. The other question I have is, will Cheryl Reeves go super small again? I wonder if she's found something there because that really is a bit of a struggle, especially when Vandersloot is in the game as Vandersloot can't stay in front of Heidemann. Lainey Hamilton being limited in minutes just really hurts them when the Lynx potentially go to that super small lineup. So I'm wondering if she's going to bring that out again, Cheryl Reeves, and say, yep, you're going to hammer us on the boards, but we'll take the mismatch any day. Now, I'm sure on the other side, New York is saying we had open looks that we missed that we usually make. And over a 5-game series, the law of averages will work themselves out. If we continue to hammer the Lynx on the boards like we did, our shots will start falling and we will dominate this series. Now, did I say dominate? Dominate's probably the wrong word to use. I've learned my lesson. We will win this series. That's what New York is saying to themselves. Now, the good news for WNBA fans is this sets us up for a really, really good Game 2, and it looks like this has the potential to be a really fantastic series. Now, over to you. Feel free to give me grief on the previous video as well. Do you feel like the New York Liberty choked up this win, or was it just a good adjustment by Cheryl Reeves taking advantage of her super small lineup? Your comments are welcome. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a good day.